This is it. I pushed the right buttons. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us today for episode number 37 of the Tattoo Weekly. If you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or the Reinventing website, just let us know that these streams are working in the chat or tag a friend who loves tattoos and would like to join us. You guys can check out some of our Reinventing Weekly drawing groups and shows other than the Tattoo Weekly anytime. I'll run through some of them so you guys know what's up. On Sundays, we have Jason Leeser with his Skill Building Sunday drawing group. Monday mornings is Drawing for Tattooers by James Wisdom, followed by right here, the Tattoo Weekly at 11 a.m. Monday nights are the Evolution classes led by Guy Aitchison. Tuesday mornings at 10 is Tuesday Feelings with Ricardo Sturdivant. Wednesdays at noon is a TattooNow show, followed by the Reinventing Business course bi-weekly at 1. Also Thursday nights at 6 is Tattoo Collecting 101, and then we start it all over again on Sunday. All of these events can be found on our homepage as well as our YouTube and Roku channels. Before I get started, let's say thank you again to our sponsors for helping us push out all of this cool content to you guys for free. We've got World Tattoo Events giving us the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events in the world. You can find hundreds of event listings at worldtattooevents.com. Also shout out to Raw Pigments with their acrylic-free inks that are being used by artists around the world. If you'd like to support Reinventing, you can go to the Raw website and order using the code Reinventing the Tattoo for 10% off your next purchase. Also, thank you to DLize Pro for helping artists and clients protect their art, as well as our affiliates Fireside Tattoo, Apprenticeship Diaries, and ecofriendlytattoosupplies.com. Lastly, I want to mention our second trimester being underway for the Evolution. So if you guys have questions about that, we can explain it or go to reinventingthetattoo.com. Other than that, we've got a really cool guest today with Gabe. Gabe is on location at Unified Tattoo Company with Bart Andrews. I had the chance to hang out with Bart a little bit in Hell City, and I'm super excited to see him again today. As you guys can see, it's a pretty dope looking set. We'll have a chance to look around a little bit. Let's go ahead and say hi to you guys and see how you're doing today.
Well, thank you very much. This is very fun. Yeah, thank you, Bart. Thank you for having us. It's been very fun. We've been working on getting the streaming set up, and as you'll see later, we'll do a little pan around the shop. This is a beautiful event space here, and this is St. Augustine. St. Augustine. It's wonderful.
Right on. Well, do you guys want to do a quick little introduction? Then I'll go ahead and roll our introduction clip.
All right. I'm Gabe from TattooNow.
I'm Bart from Unified Tattoo Company.
And I'm Lauren from Raw Pigments and Reinventing the Tattoo. And there we have it.
Hello again. I was trying to fire up my Facebook so that I could monitor Facebook chat rooms, and I realized that it was like whatever Thursday or Friday. I got to fuck off social media.
It's a good place to be.
It's fantastic, actually. You know, it's so amazing how the computer scientists really do like the fear of missing out, right?
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how many tattoos are talking about like I need to be on Instagram. I need to be on Instagram. It's like wait, actually, no. I mean, it's nice.
Have a conversation with your family. People sit in front of you.
So much easier. But anyways, so you know, I do find that talking to person is. I mean, I know for me, I'm way less of an asshole. You know, I hop online, I'm like, fuck you fascist fuck. And so I talk to somebody personal, like, we discuss a comment.
Yeah, exactly. It changes the dynamic of everything. Everybody's 10 foot tall and both from mine.
You know,
Everybody's done the thing.
100%. But yeah, so let's see. So we were at All City recently, so that was a lot of fun. Bart was up in the Reinventing the Tattoo booth right on the floor there with Bruno.
Yeah, very awesome.
Yeah, and you were cruising through. You did some you're an Asian style. I mean, you do all sorts of styles, which is awesome. And your upcoming seminar is going to be about how to be an awesome tattooer and a diverse set of styles.
Yeah, doing versatility and stuff. Because people get to, you know, I feel from my point of view of tattooing. I was in a street shop. I had tattoo whatever came in the door. And it wasn't pick or choose on, oh, I'm only going to do this style, that style. It was the styles that I gravitated more toward. But it allowed me to see the mechanics of tattoo and how I could apply techniques from every style into the next.
Yeah, it's really awesome to check out your portfolio because usually like often when a tattooer is spending their energies across a diverse set of styles, they become like really good at some of them, but like not like awesome. And when you look through your portfolio, man, it's like the Asian style is awesome, your black and gray is awesome, the whole dot work, that was awesome. Yeah, so anyway, the point is, like, for me, it's like for the tattooers who want to do anything that walks through the door, they're a perfect inspiration on how to. I guess maybe what you're saying is it's the mechanics of the tattooing that separates you from.
Well, maybe it's that, but I see things since I was young. Everything I would see, I was interested in. I had to tear it apart. It's just on my brain. I don't understand failure. So it's like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to do it. So that's very much what drives me to understand it. Yeah. I wanted to succeed in tattooing, and I was with my family, and to prove everybody I can do. I don't have to have jobs one more. You know what?
We may have lost you, Laura.
Oh, I'm here. It's a little bit hard to hear you guys, just if you want to project some.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit. Well, Bart's got some.
Yeah, maybe this is a little bit better here. I think I might be able
So
to.
while you guys are doing that, I want to show off a little bit of your work, if that's okay with you, Bart.
Oh, sure.
All right.
I'm actually working on that Phoenix today.
This is what you're working on today?
Yeah. Cover up.
Beautiful. Yeah, that looks beautiful, Bart. Yeah, that's quite the cover up.
Yeah, it's fun. When did we meet, Bart? It was like, I mean, it must have been via Pepper.
That looks like Pepper. It's about 10 years ago.
Awesome. Aha. I'm going to swap out the batteries in our receiver here while you're. Oh, look at that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, Bart. You must have some pretty cool clients down there.
I do. I have some very trusting and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So I do a lot of cover-ups. A lot of different styles.
That's so
Were
awesome.
you able to hear him through that?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I can turn the volume up. I just turned it up. Okay, so you can hear better now?
Yeah, so Bart Andrews _UTC.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you have also a lot of experience producing tattoo conventions, right? So you've done like almost, not all the jobs, but it's all of them.
Yeah, I've definitely been in the hosting seat and creator side of it. It's a seat that I don't want anymore. I enjoy it. I enjoy hosting events. I enjoy seeing people succeed. I enjoy bringing everybody together. And, with the growing of our family and the love that's being shared there, I don't want to put that time into hosting large scale events and anymore because it takes a lot of. Oh, it's tremendous. I just tell people that it takes a year off your life. Like, I'm going to run a convention. I'm like, great. You're going to fucking live your life. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel it completely. And, so I figured, what better way to still exercise that side of me than to dive into here in the studio, with different gallery nights and focus on everything. Pushing our guest artists to come through, our resident artists, trying to make sure they have all the tools they need to succeed in whatever field they want to.
I did an interview with all the artists yesterday or the day before, and yeah, they were all ecstatic, they were very respectful. So you're clearly doing a great job.
Well, I try. Sometimes I think we all.
We lost you, Gabe. Gabe, we lost you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go back yet? Nope. That was where I got it. It's coming. There we go. Burning new cameras. It's almost like every 3 years the technology changes.
Yep.
Do you have any experience with that, Lauren?
I would say so, and it's funny because it just, it's become so much more prevalent in the last 3 years or whatever, and technology has been so different since before COVID and post. So I think right now we're in a definitely key time in terms of like this type of stuff that we're doing and streaming, and there's definitely a million ways to do it.
It's nuts, but as Bart was saying, for one, he runs awesome shows. So whenever anybody's like, "Oh, don't worry about it, I'll go to it next year," you might not, because running tattoo conventions is crazy. And at any given moment, the convention promoter could be like, "You know what? There are actually better things to do in my life," rather than throwing big parties for people that have fun. But the point is, I've seen this a couple of times. The studio here, and as I show the event space here, there's a way to be able to focus that energy, like you're saying, take that network to bring people through here, benefits resident artists and the local clientele here. And it's like more on a consistent basis. I mean, in fact, one of the reasons why this Reinventing Network happened the way it is because we were doing the virtual tattoo conventions. And after like 3 or 4 of them, God was like, why don't we put together like 15, 25 people in 3 days? We just do a little bit every day. And it's like, wait, it's amazing pace. So yeah, I guess the point is, don't ever sleep on the tattoo conventions if you want to get to them, and you should make it time to some of these convention promoter shots, because I think they think the energy to put in the shots.
Yeah, that makes sense. For the VTG was super interesting. That's one of the first times I met you, Gabe, was working on that, and I realized that it is going to be a huge rabbit hole to go down with the technology stuff. But when our initial setup, you were definitely super helpful with that. But I'm glad that we overcame that huge tech obstacle.
It's obviously when we do these things, everyone's like, "I do that, I want to do that. How do I do that?" I'm like, "How do you do that? You hit your head against the wall for fucking 4 days, and it'll work." You can do it.
Yeah.
And now you'll also see your partner's Pepper. Who's been inspiring for decades too. You want to compare it? Tell her story.
Chief just been an inspiration to everybody around here. All of her work on this whole here. Right now, she's taking us about from tattooing to mainly focus on artwork and being mom to 2 little ones and helping out my 13-year-olds with us and stuff. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for the support of her. Everything she's done to push my crazy ass ideas and support them and stand beside me. Even when she's wanted to wring my neck, she's never let me down or let me fall myself. So, one hell of a tattooer. It's taught me so much throughout the years. Always encouraging. She is probably, they say I'm my worst critic. She has definitely got to be my strongest and my worst. Feel good about something. Still good what I have right now. Her eye, and it's just, damn it. I didn't even see that surface, but it drives me to focus on art. And one of the inspirations is always just good enough. Good enough is never good enough. But you can only do the best that you can.
That's pretty much it. One of the effects of having Pepper on the shop is that everyone here is a phenomenal black and gray artist, for sure. But these are her paintings. These aren't black and gray. These are all
no. She's always painted in color. all the color tattoos. Color realism is a lot of fancy, right? Just the mom saturation is amazing. For usage, right? I feel a lot of people that strive to understand black and gray, so feeling black and gray tattoos, they don't want to think it's a color. It's not the case. Everything that comes, we all see in color, you know, for the most part. And once you understand color values and light sources and strengths and stuff, you understand why things monochromatically change. So therefore, it better sense of white tattoo.
Now, we're showing off some of the flash collection that you have here.
Oh, it's a little bit of everything. I've got so much stuff in files. I wish at one day my goal is to still put up all the different flash for, you know,
aesthetics. You know, it's definitely got the classic feel. There's like Martin Cat's flash. So
I've got some air conditioning stuff like that. I love plastics, you know.
One of the amazing thing about this shop is that even though it's clearly very original art painting based, there's also a really strong traditional vibe going on.
Well, we would not be where we're at if it wasn't for the tradition. Right? You know, that's like I tell everybody, if you can't lay blocks on the foundation, how are you going to build a skyscraper?
Oh, what's this? The stage?
Oh, that's the stage where guest artists, when they're in town, our resident artists have a place to paint when they're here. You're in a big space, a little, you know, special, or if I got featured artists, I can clear that out and have all of their stuff up on stage.
I imagine we'll be doing some seminars and whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's different stuff in the stage.
One of the things that we should definitely talk about are the fact that you're very busy, overflowed with work, and so if artists are interested in,
We could definitely use a couple of good, strong resident artists right now. Guest artists always welcome anytime.
so what kind of artists excel here?
Ones that want to. If you just want to do your own thing and turn away any little walk-in or whatever, you're not going to do it. We still accept walk-ins, and the beauty of that is that one little walk-in, next thing you know, it turns into somebody coming back. They want that big sleeve that you want to do, or portrait, you know, and it's treating everybody with respect and realizing that that little tattoo, that might be that person's first time. Give them a good tattoo.
My first tattoo was Fireside.
You know, don't just be humble with people. Come back, sit down and do that. A couple months down the road, next thing that person can tell you, hey, I had such a wonderful experience with you. I know that your main interest is doing color realism portraits or whatever it might be, or large scale Japanese. But I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day and doing my grandmother's signature or whatever it might be. And it's beautiful. I love to say now I'm coming back because I'm a piece of your art. Or you took the time to treat me with respect and not run me out the door.
It really is about respect now. I've seen so many tattooers like, yes, they're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do face upside down. And just, you know, it's upside down, it's a shitty tattoo. And it's like, why are you even doing it?
Well,
Just be nice and
okay,
pass it
here's the problem. Yes, it's upside down. But if you respectfully educate somebody on why it's upside down, don't tell them it's a shitty tattoo.
Exactly, yes.
And be like, okay, great, this is what you want, I'll do it, fine.
And I just, to that point, like I've seen so many times where there'd be one tattooer that bounces that, the other tattooer does it, and the boyfriend or girlfriend will start getting oh, you know what, I'm interested, I'm looking at this on the wall, could you use that as a tattoo? So sometimes it literally happens at the same time.
It always happens at the same time a lot of times. And then also, if we look at the fact, when we get into something else, the only time I really see upside down tattoo, I'll be honest, we've got some preacher's wife coming to us wanting to cross all of this. And ma'am, this is upside down.
I want to encourage that. Anybody, I would always, yeah.
You know, the holding your faith is, you know, that's something, but you don't walk around like this all day. You don't walk around like person.
One of the reasons why I probably don't want to shop anymore is because my instinct is like, are you sure you don't want that cross facing you? but yeah, the point is really like, when you talk about respect and respecting the clients, I don't remember when it was, but it was a long time ago, probably 2 decades, and maybe joke at the piano or somebody, like, he was just really nice to everybody, and the quote was like, everybody could be a client. So I wonder about just, and we were talking about this earlier, about how tattooing can actually help us become, it could help us become better.
Yes.
And, for me, when I started getting my neck tattooed and my arms tattooed, I was like, if I have to be an asshole to everybody that talks to me at the bar, I'm just going to be an asshole. No, I'm not the bar.
I'm going to go back to it again. I'm going to look at one of the things on the video one time, documentary, and he was talking, and I had this experience. I don't remember some TikTok store with my little boys, my they're 24 and 21. With them one day, and this woman was looking at me on tattoo. They look at the kids like, are they? I'm like, why would they be afraid of that? They only know me as that.
Sure.
You're the one that has a problem. What if you're looking at me like, why don't my kids have it before you to pop out more like this? It continues. No. But the beauty of mainstream media, social media, everything in this that narrow minds finally start to see.
Yeah.
We see some of it. It pops up every once in a while, but it's not as relevant.
Grandmothers will cross the street to check out your tattoos instead of crossing that away from you.
And how many grandmothers have been here on tattoo that have been like, got followed before the tattoo, my husband said against the mental. I'm like, the hell would you? We've been married 60 years, I didn't want to. You know what? And so, tattoo those big pieces all their branch.
Right, of course. So, or that power of the transformation. It's never, in fact, it's never too late. There's another tattooer I've been chatting with, Lita. She'll tattoo cancer patients when they're on the way out. And so it's like, the last 2 years, they wear the tattoo knowing they're going to die. I mean, I guess we all know we're going to die, but like, the power that energy those tattoos have, it's amazing. So just, obviously, the power of tattoos to help people realize who they want to be is amazing.
It is. Creates change.
So, you want to talk a little bit about the future?
No. I know here in the very short future, I do have to get my client. They're waiting on me to start on the back piece. As of right now, I'm going to say we are going to have a YouTube channel going on, and we're doing a lot more social media stuff. So just pay attention, go to the website. So on the mailing list, just pay attention. There's going to be a lot more things coming up. So I know recently we've got a couple of guest artists in town right now. Got Travis Clark from Atlanta. I got Angel Serrano from Puerto Rico. We've got well, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to show a lady with only tattoo on 2 years from Tennessee State. 2 years being born by mine already, so I'm excited to see what she's going to do. And then, of course, in August, we see Sean Ford coming up, doing guest spot list. And who knows what else is coming up, a few more guest spots on the radar, and all in right now.
Awesome. Well, my goal is to hopefully by next year have it's good with that.
Yes.
It's now it's just fun. Lauren, did we lose you again?
Listening in from behind.
There you go.
It's a little hard to hear you.
Still a little hard to hear us. I wonder if well, let's you gotta get to this tattoo anyways. We definitely hit the volume and post, but oh, there we go. That was fun, fantastic. Thank you very much for the.
Thank you guys for having me. I definitely appreciate it. Look forward to talking again soon.
Awesome. Cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, Bart, I'd love to come down and visit you maybe later this fall or something like that. It would be pretty awesome.
Be great. Good catching up. Thank you.
So just make sure you click off the mic. So Lauren, what's up there going on in Wisconsin?
Oh, lots going on. I actually work remote for Raw. That we're based in LA, so we have a lot of big things kind of happening right now. So getting into Europe and stuff like that has been a huge challenge, as I've talked about several times. But yeah, just getting that kind of all situated. We've got a lot of shows to go to this summer. I know we'll both be at Rubber City by Tony Urbanic coming up.
He's
Next,
still going here, so give us a start, give us 1 second.
Never a dull moment. Do you know where the remote is? Okay, no worries, you can get your tattoo, I'll figure this out. No, remote's right here. Shut it off when you got up.
Yeah.
Ah, you're back. How about this?
perfect.
Now it's working. So before I launched, I imagine you were talking a little bit about some of the new projects we brought, and it sounds like you've got some REACH compliant inks now.
Coming soon. Yep. Yeah.
Awesome. I imagine that's a pretty difficult thing to kind of get through, right? I mean, reformulating all the inks. And...
I would say it would be incredibly difficult for anyone to do anything like that. Incredibly difficult, time consuming, expensive, all the sort, you know. It definitely takes your eye on the end goal and without wavering, because there's things that can come up every single step of the way that are unpredictable, but solvable issues for sure. So yeah, I mean, in Europe, there's so much uncertainty right now with from artist perspective of not really knowing what's going on. So I'm glad that we were able to have the resources and have the ambition to really push for something, because I know that a few companies haven't done the same exact route, and you know, artists need their inks. So we have a pretty good range, you know, strong colors, and it's pretty exciting.
Now, I know that you watched the tattoo show where they were talking about the conglomerates and whatnot, and one of the benefits of the conglomerates they were saying was that they had the resources to change their inks quickly. So I was really excited to see you and maybe a couple others that are still independent but able to pull off the change of formulas to get compliant.
Yeah, and the corporate, that was a really interesting video, but we both know Paul. Obviously, Chris is a friend of mine as well, and he's not afraid to say things. I can't say that I agree with everything that was said, but I do thoroughly enjoy hearing Paul talk about how he can see it from the music perspective with record labels, and how there's a lot of ownership, and it might not be bad now, but we do have to kind of keep things like that in check for the sake of the industry long term.
Oh yeah, he has a first person view of what happens when corporations get into art. And to his point, it's not the people, it's the motivation of the companies. And while the motivation of the companies is still to contribute to the tattoo world over profit, that's good. At some point, the job of a corporation is to make money for their shareholders, right?
Yeah, that's a tried and true truth. Corporations are, if you have a body of a corporation, they sometimes lack a heart, but they'll have arms and legs that can run, but they don't necessarily have the real connection to artists and things like that. But definitely pros and cons. For us, we were able to do things that we're able to do through like thoughtful preparation for years and years and years. So it's not, it's not like only the corporations can survive in something like this, but it kind of seems like it's incredibly difficult for the smaller guys to really stay above water, like moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the only one slight disagreement maybe with Paul was he was talking about he expressed he wasn't quite sure that the tattoo world is going to be that big or get that big as the music industry. And now, while bands can certainly play for 30,000 people, just watch the Glastonbury show. I think that like a third of America is tattooed, which means half of America wants to be tattooed. That's a lot of people. Like I do think that the tattoo world is going to be one of the biggest industries that exists. And
as it stands right now in the United States, it's the sixth fastest growing industry. That's pretty impressive. It wasn't always like that. So I mean, corporate eyes are definitely on the industry. The thing that would come to play is whether or not like a company wants to be purchased or not, or if that's their end goal, or if they're prepping for something like that, and then their actions kind of are money driven, and that kind of sucks. But I know that we've seen it a lot in the United States and now to Europe and other places as well. So it's not like you can fight the big bad wolf like they're saying, but you definitely have to keep them in check and hold accountability for certain moves and why they're happening. Because like Paul had mentioned, at one point the power is really crazy when you're talking about legislation and things like that.
We're really seeing that in fact in America right now. You know, I mean, part of the beauty of tattooing is that tattooers are really self-enabled. I mean, at the essence of it, tattooers tattoo their clients, show them a great time and a great tattoo, and the clients come back with their friends and family. Okay? And, you know, tattooers choose where they spend their money. So it's, I mean, so ultimately, you know, it's not like I'm scared, you know, you don't need to be scared of anybody or in a corporation. If tattooers want to stop supporting corporations, then they will, and if they don't want to, then they don't. You know? But they have the power.
Yeah, that's true. There's definitely things you want to ask yourself, like when you're using a product, I would say like look into what they do with their money. You know, like for a lot of the corporations, they're going to dump hundreds of thousands of dollars into marketing and such rather than to product quality. So it kind of depends on where you want your money to go, you know, aside from using the best possible products. But that's another thing that I always am conscientious about. I like to support the small guys.
Unless they want to sponsor us. I mean, again, it's one of those weird games to play, right? Especially if like 70% of the tattoo world is owned by a couple of companies. We have to play. And again, you know, just politically, like I drive a car around and flying around, so it's not like any of us, you know, we engage in the commerce, not like, you know, holier than thou by any such imagination. And you know, to Chris's point, you know, one of the things I like to do is get together, you know, groups of artists so that they can leverage, you know, the power that they have as a group. For instance, a tattoo studio, you know, studios, because they have say 6 to 10 artists, there's an opportunity there to leverage that income and the energy to create an experience that someone can't create in a private studio. But like here, for instance, like, you know, you can have a really cool private studio, but you can't have this, you know. So it's ultimately, you know, at the end of the day, if we're focused on doing the best quality work we can for our clients and delivering the best experience, everything else is just kind of secondary.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I think that there's a huge line drawn between like the old school mentality and the new school. And I feel like right now there's so many pros and cons, but like how Chris said with some of these companies, the people working within the company are generally the same people from before, or like generally really nice and awesome people, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the same as like the ultimate motivator behind those companies and hedge funds.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, for me, when I was working in music, well, 2 decades ago, I would always make it a point whoever I was talking to make that personal connection. Like, I mean, as we were saying earlier, you should be respecting everybody, whoever's answering the phone, right? But we knew for a fact that within 6 months to a year, that person would be somewhere else. And if you create a good connection with that person and then move on, you still have that, right? You know, that's ultimately is what ends up happening, right? It's, the people that work for a company are awesome and are awesome. The company at the end of the day that's making decisions that affect them. I mean, hopefully, I have the advice of the people that work that.
Yeah, that makes sense. What do you think that did you kind of feel the same as what they were saying? Do you think it'd be like a fine line, or are you pro, con? Do you have any other opinions on?
It's hard to become because part of my living by helping promote brands and companies. Do I prefer smaller non-corporate owned companies? Look, for the most part, you know, is there a case to be made that, you know, without that kind of corporate support, you just can't deliver the same experience? Well, yeah, I've been at plenty of mom and pop shops that kind of suck. I mean, but again, ultimately, like as far as that conversation is concerned, you know, Paul, I feel like has a really good sense of, you know, really good point of view, like that sense of history. He's got some experience in it, and you know, and Chris, I appreciate, of course, I appreciate the fact that he's like fighting through post-COVID to make these shows and stuff. It's amazing. But I guess I just have a little less faith that the motivations are going to continue to be pure, you know, for the corporations. If we just look at this, you know,
Yeah, I think like how
doesn't really ever end well.
exactly like Paul said, you know, Basically, so like if you have one element of control and then they scoop up all these other things around them, eventually you'll kind of be cornered into situations that you know, like events, live events, or the box office, et cetera, et cetera. That's what I wouldn't like to see happen.
That's the way the world goes. I mean, and ultimately there's gonna be a, you know, probably a chain and that's a shop someday, right? Like, why, you know, that's where the, I mean, I guess I don't necessarily know the reason, say they have financial people to do it. But on the other hand, you know, that's, I know when you talk about the convention, I mean, again, that's just kind of the way that it rolls, and again, Paul was very clear, like, if I had the power, you know, I was trying to do this as a strategist. It's inevitable, right? But that's it, I have a Canon camera here, I'm gonna fly home in an airplane, hop in my Hyundai and fucking drive home like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it is a fine balance because there's definitely artists who feel both ways. You know, but yeah, money talks. It's a very expensive world out there, especially now that we've seen what happens with Europe. And you know, speaking of, a lot of people are curious or worried or cautious about those same type of reclassification or legislation happening in the US. I just don't see it happening, at least definitely not to that extent.
Oh, one thing that's clear is that we need to educate ourselves and then participate. You know,
Absolutely.
Otherwise it happens without us. That's to us, instead of with us.
Yep, absolutely. So what else is?
And that is one of Paul's critiques. It's like, at least if the corporations have the dough, then they are supposed to be getting the lobbyists to protect them.
True. Well, yeah, what else is going on while you're in Florida, Gabe?
Let's see, I've been working on some studio management software solutions here. I'm going to be streaming Bart's tattoo a little bit. Maybe he won't do as much talking about it because of his voice scope. But he's working on that big ass back piece. So set up the cameras in there and get them rolling. And then we're out basically I'm here working. So I'll spend the rest of the day tomorrow morning kind of putting together checklists and standard operating procedures so that unified and everything up a little bit, clear up the communication, but not like marketing. It's like they have an overflow of times coming in, so you know, paying a lot of attention to the current clients. And then when I head back home, I'm sure what else. The Rubber City Tattoo Invitational, my next event event.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Tony's been really cool to deal with, and yeah, he's got everything ready, it looks like.
Tattoo Machine Olympics. What else do you say? Tattoo Machine Olympics.
I've got one of Tony's machines right here, right there. I've got one of Tony's machines right there that he gave to me. Pretty cool. I'm excited to see.
Great. So I'll be teaching a couple seminars there, a couple for free, one for pay, watching Tattoo Machine Olympics and putting my chips down on the winners. The benefit chips, whatever they might be, there's no actual benefit, of course. Yeah, that's that, I think.
Yeah, I'll be there too. I know that I'll have like I don't think I'm bringing like an artist or anything, but I'll have like a vendor booth taking photos as well. So I'm really excited for that.
Awesome.
Just to kind of keep it a little on the chill side.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm always at that, but although I like having big booths too, but for the Reinventing community, we'll be having a Saturday morning meetup. So actually, this isn't in a last minute notice. If you're going to be in the Akron, Ohio area, July 30th,
yep.
Probably 10 o'clock, we'll be finding some place close by to have a good breakfast chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be there.
And Kyle's going to be a pretty good Reinventing for that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see Kyle.
You're getting tattooed by a guy.
Yeah, I'm actually getting tattooed by him. My session is August 9th to 11th. So I think we'll have a couple days to kind of work on that. And I'm super excited.
Yeah, you're getting a lace sleeve? Is that our leg? Starting on a leg?
I haven't actually talked to him specifically, but that's kind of what I want, obviously. So, yeah, I know we'll bring our cameras and stuff and get some good documentation of that process. It'll be my first time to hyperspace, so you know how that feels. Like the excitement is real.
Oh yeah, you know, he delivers. You know, so there's a lot of, there's always a lot of hype out there. Right? That guy doesn't hype it up. It's not like he's like jacking up how awesome his experience is and everything, but like people kind of know it is. You get there, it's quiet, it's peaceful, and you know, the guy just has an amazing attention for detail of the client experience. You know, because he's in the middle of nowhere, you know, if the client taps out or walks away or whatever, I'm just fill him in the spots. So I don't know if it's natural or because of the situation, but he really takes care of his clients. You're
That's cool. Yeah, I will not tap out. That's for sure.
But again, I think at this point, this process is, you know, it's so nice and sweet and chill. I can't imagine any people tapping out. But again,
Yeah, no, this is pretty cool though. I'm excited because getting to know him and obviously you over the last couple of years has been really cool. He's it's like, you know, when you have someone you really, really looked up to, you don't want to meet them, but guys like the total opposite. He's almost better than you can imagine, you know, as a person, as an artist, as an instructor, all of it.
Yeah, 100%. I remember I was talking to him a while back, and somebody was being critical of him, saying that he was, you know, hard to get a hold of, or whatever critique was, and I was like, and I was talking to the guy, I was like, yeah, it's amazing, you know, I mean, it's bullshit or whatever, you know, because you're every Monday night at 9 o'clock. There you go. It takes $50 from him. You know, that's not. I mean, every tattooer can, you know, to do it if they wanted to. And he's always doing the you know, some news shows and stuff. So, but I should was gonna say it was good.
Hard to get a hold of.
Sorry. Oh, they were saying there. Sorry. And when I talked to the guy, he was like, well, you know, the problem there was a time when I was younger, or there was a time when I was younger when I really had let it all go to my head. Maybe I probably wasn't the, you know, most gracious person in the world. I'm just like, I can't even believe it. The guy's telling me he was an asshole at some point. I'm sure he wasn't the most positive of it. Or maybe not. Maybe he learns pleasant. The point is, as far as I've known for all over a decade now, it's not easily accessible. It's a very busy guy working with his clients and his family. But when he has time, he's exceptionally generous with it. And for the most part, he's tattooing somebody. You know, so yeah, I'm jealous of the experience. I can't really get that up to myself.
Yeah, another exciting thing, we've kind of talked about it a little bit, but mostly everyone watching knows that I work with raw pigments as well. So I'm excited to see, you know, that kind of unfold and see if guy wants to go with an all raw palette.
Yeah, because it's fun. When's your next convention?
I won't be, I was going to go up to Canada in a couple weeks, but I might just stick at home. I've got River City. I'll be in San Diego the week after. I'll be in Hyperspace a couple days after, and then I'll be in Dallas for the Tattoo Collectors Expo. And then I will go to Hell City a week or so after that. And then we have Golden State in September.
Oh man, you're like back on tattoo convention circuit.
Yep.
Like
yep. Yeah, it's cool, but when you do a lot of back to back events like that, things kind of go together. So definitely don't want to be forgetful or like miss anything, you know, because that's a lot of cool artists to meet and a lot of opportunities for sure.
Oh, it's crazy. It's like, I mean, you know, there's a day of travel on either end of it. So you're pretty much going to be going to the show, coming back from the show, taking care of any essentials, going to the next show, coming back, taking care of any essentials.
Yeah, with something like that, I just will book one flight and then have multiple destinations and then come back. Which, you know, that's always possible.
Awesome. Fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's maybe we're time to wrap it up. And
yep.
I want to get the cameras over into Bart's so that we could stream out some of the probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Okay, and then where do you stream Bart's stuff from? Where can anyone watch, or is that kind of like a private?
It'll be back on YouTube on the Reinventing the Tattoo YouTube channel.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we could drop a link in the description or something like that. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And Bart, Gabe, I guess next week, Jake will be back, and maybe for the 4th.
Oh wait, no, for the 4th, I think it might be. He said that he was out for the 4th.
Oh, okay, so we'll see you guys in about 2 weeks then.
2 weeks. Perfect.
All right, cool. Thank you everyone for watching, and